These vending machines have to be the cutest things I've seen in a long time. Hey y'all, welcome to my channel. I'm Patrice. If this is your first time here, welcome. Please be sure to check out my other content, and if you enjoy that content, please be sure to stick around by hitting that subscribe button. Also, don't forget to hit the like button. And for my returning members and subscribers, hey y'all, welcome back. So today, as y'all saw, we are going to be making this. This is one of the many vending machines. This has been trending for about over a year now. And we are going to be making this. I'm going to show you guys how to do this. I have to get 10 of these done for birthday party favors. And y'all, the mini ones are so cute. You can still get snacks in or whatever you want to put in here. You can put that inside and they'll fit. But these are super cute. This is an 8 by 10. And so we're going to be making this with regular size stuff, except the foam board, of course. So let's go over everything that we're going to be using today. So today, you want to make sure you get a utility knife or something that will be able to cut your foam board, okay? I'm going to be using this utility knife. For everything that I'm using, I will have a link listed below in the description. I'm also going to be using these adhesive hinges, and that's so that the door will open and close. And I absolutely love these. Now, you can get this done without using the hinges, but I just like the hinges. And so right here I have two different sizes. The size that I'm going to be using today is the 35 by 30 millimeter hinges. However, they do have 45 by 35 millimeter hinges. They have larger adhesive hinges, and you guys are going to love these with your vending machine. You also want to get you some sticker paper. Now, for this particular vending machine, I'm going to be using glossy white sticker paper. However, you can use matte sticker paper if you like. You're going to need your printer, so you need a color printer that will be able to print out your designs. But for this design, we're going to be using glossy sticker paper, and this is the brand that I'm using, QYH. However, if you have a preferred sticker brand that you like, use that. You don't have to necessarily use this brand. I'm also going to show you guys, we're going to layer this with some clear holographic vinyl just to give parts of the machine a different look. Now, what I would suggest is that if you want to, the back of this doesn't have anything on it. So we could either print out another image to go on the back, or you could actually use regular permanent vinyl to kind of cover that up if that's what you like a solid vinyl if you want to use that, or again, you can print out another image. Either way, I've done it both ways, and whichever way works best for you, then that's what I would suggest using. You're also going to need some craft plastic, and the craft plastic is going to go on the front part of the machine, right? So the craft plastic, I'm going to be using Samsil, and this is craft plastic. It's 0.18 millimeters thick, or 0.007 inches thick, and this is how it comes. Now it's clear. This is a piece that I've already used, and if you're going to be making quite a few of these, then you don't want to waste any of this, and so you could definitely use another part of this for another vending machine. So I'm going to be doing that because I don't want to waste it. And to get everything together, you're going to need a glue gun to make sure that everything sticks the way that it needs to. I assure you that this glue gun is going to get the job done. So your glue sticks, glue guns, you need this in order to piece together all of the foam board. Now, of course, the star of the show is going to be this foam board, okay? And this foam board is 22 by 28 inches. It's 3/16 of an inch thick, just so that you'll know that. And this particular foam board, I got this off of Amazon. However, you can get foam board from various places. From what I've heard, Dollar Tree foam board does not work that well, but you can definitely get this from Amazon. And this has been working pretty good for me. There is a piece of paper like coated on top, but I have not had any problems with that. As you guys see, like this has been done now for maybe about 3 weeks, and it is nice and adhered to the foam board. Okay, so that's what we're going to be using today. Now, if you don't have sticker paper, you can print this out on photo paper, and then you would just need to apply it. Maybe get some double-sided tape, and then you could apply it to your foam board. But we're going to walk through the process of getting this done. So let's get started. We went through everything that we're going to need, which took a lot of time, but we're ready to get started. Alright guys, so now we're inside of Adobe Illustrator, and I just want to show you pretty much how I set the template up. I did not purchase any templates from anywhere. I actually just created the template myself inside of Adobe Illustrator. I felt that it would be super simple since the vending machine is pretty much squares. And so the size of the vending machine, as you see, is going to be an 8 by 10. And then I made the side panels. I wanted them to be about 4 inches wide in depth. You can make it as wide as you want, but I just made both the side panels, of course, the same size. I do have like the top and the bottom, and also the shelves that go inside of the machine. I did make those a little bit smaller than 4 inches wide. But these are my measurements based on the size of the foam board and just how thick it is, okay? And so all I did next was I went and I grabbed some designs from the web and also from Etsy, and I created my template that way, all inside of Adobe Illustrator. Okay, and I did have the background removed from this particular picture, but for the most part it was fairly simple. All of these images came from Etsy. The only thing that did not come from Etsy was on Wednesdays we eat snacks. I created that here inside of Adobe Illustrator, and I made sure everything was placed inside of each of the templates. Okay, so we're going to get ready, and we're just going to send this to the printer. For the paper that we're going to be using today, I am going to be using photo paper glossy. We're going to have to print. I am then going to head to page setup just to make sure the right paper is going to be printing, and we're going to be printing this from the Epson EcoTank printer. It has regular ink inside of it. It's for these types of projects. And now I'm going to select setup. I'm going to click continue, and then we are simply going to head to print settings, and I'm going to change this paper to photo paper glossy. And I am going to, you could either click best quality or you could just have normal quality. It's up to you. Alright, so I just got to adjust the paper size, print with specified settings, and it's already installed in the rear paper feed. Alright guys, so now we're at the table, and I do have one of my cutting mats here because I'm going to be using this utility knife to cut the foam board, and I don't want to scratch up my table. So make sure that you have something to protect your table or whatever you're going to be cutting on top of so that you don't scratch your surface up. Alright, so here is our foam board, and we are actually going to get ready to start placing the sticker paper on top. The printed sticker paper, we're going to get ready to place it on top so that we can prepare to cut it. Alright guys, so we're just printing these out, and you're going to need 6 pieces of 8.5 by 11 paper, sticker paper, whatever you're going to be using if you're going to be doing this size. Now, if you have a larger format printer, then you can print a larger sheet with all the images on it and cut it out then. But if you're only going to be using the 8.5 by 11 sheets, then you want to make sure you have at least 6, okay? Now we're going to get ready to cut these out, and the reason why I want to cut it out is because I want to use as little of the foam as I can. Like if I can save some of the foam, I definitely want to do that. So I'm just going to start. You can either cut it out, or if you have a paper slicer, you can go ahead and slice it and just slice off those, off all of the white pieces, okay? And again, this is just so that we can preserve some of this space or some of the foam board, okay? Alright guys, so I have all of the pieces cut out, and I am just going to place these pieces on the foam board, okay? And of course, we need to peel the backing. And I'm not going to peel the backing completely off. I'm just going to expose some of the adhesive. And then we're just going to place this onto our foam board. I'll start over here in the corner. And I'm going to get my ruler to help me push it out. I'm going to turn it this way a little. And then I just want to make sure that I try to prevent any air bubbles that could possibly pop up. So that's feeling good and smooth, nice and smooth. Just applying a little pressure, and everything is nice and flat onto the foam board. And we're going to repeat that for the rest of the sheets. Alright, so next we're going to get our utility knife, and then we're going to begin slicing our images out. Okay, these are the parts that we're going to be using to pretty much make our vending machine. Alright, so I'm just going to begin. I'll start with this one, and the ruler is just going to help me stay on track. Okay. So I'm just lining the ruler up with the very edge of this part of the vending machine. And we're going to begin by slicing. All right, and we're gonna just go. And you definitely wanna be careful, but we're just gonna go and we're gonna begin slicing the foam. But we're following, and you wanna keep the foam straight, or you want to keep your blade straight, because you really don't want it to slant. Okay, and then I'm just going to keep going over this part. I actually have it too far over. I'm just going to slice it just like this, but remember, keep it straight. All right, once you get your line, you'll see that it's kind of cut through, but you may need to do this maybe like 2 to 3 times in the same area. Okay, so I'm just gonna go ahead and follow that same path. Like right here. And at this point, I don't really need my ruler. So it's pretty much done. All right, and then I'm going to just turn it. And then I'm going to pretty much repeat the same steps. And go down. All right, we're going to go one more time. Alright, so it's almost cut. And so then we're going to cut from up here. So we still need to cut that strip right there. Alright, that's looking good. We're just going to take this right here. Alright. A little piece. Alright. So here we have our piece, and I should have used my ruler, but it's okay. And then I have this little slither of a piece right here that I want to move. You tasted the chips, Scooby? Yeah, I'm about to. Oh, let me know what you think. All right, so then we're gonna just cut this nice little slither right here. I'm just gonna take my X-Acto knife and just slice there a little bit better. All right. Okay, there we go. All right, so we have that cut off. All right, so we're actually going to do the same thing for the remaining pieces. I'm just going to cut all of those out. I'm going to follow the outline of the design. So all of the pieces are cut out. However, we still need to cut the inside of the front part of the machine. All right, so we are just going to, so you want to cut out this square. All right, and I think I'm going to start here. I think I'm going to start here. The inside open. The next thing that we want to do is we want to cut the push out, but not all the way out. So we're only going to cut from here to here. We're going to cut there. We're going to slice all the way through the two sides and the bottom. However, the top, we want to kind of like score it very lightly. Okay, so that way we'll get the push in and out. So let's get ready to press this or cut this. That's going to help us get a functional door. I'm just going to cut there, and we're going to go down, and we're going to stop at the edge of the rectangle. So right there. All right. Then we're going to do the same thing for the bottom. All right, so we're going to cut this through. And we're going to puncture it all the way down, and then just, all right, that looks, it's about right. And then here I'm just going to cut there. Okay, good. Now, for the top part, we're just going to lightly, we just want to lightly, we don't even want to go all the way through. So I'm going to put my ruler here, and I'm just going to take this, and at the edge or the corner, I'm just going to lightly almost give it a surface cut, and maybe one more, because I'm not trying to go all the way through. And then I'm going to test it out and just see. So the bottom pushes through, like I see this is fully clear, but it's just that top part. And I'm just going to take my utility knife and just keep scoring. I'm not trying to go all the way through, but I do want to create enough of a cut so that I could push this back. See? Okay, so on this side, we're just gonna go with that. Let's see if we can push it through now. Almost got it through. All right. Okay, so now we have somewhat of the door. I was able to push it through, but I do need to trim off some of like just this part here so that it can push through a lot better. I'm just going to cut like from right here, from where I slanted my utility knife. I'm just going to cut a little bit off. All right, so now I'm going to take my craft plastic, or if you have like some lightweight acrylic piece, you can go ahead and use that. And I'm just going to place a piece on top, and I'm going to cut this. I'm just going to cut it about right there. Of course, you can measure it. You can also have, if you want a perfect square, you can also have your Cricut cutter cut this. It's up to you. And of course I have it too much because I don't want it to cover the push opening. Alright, so that's looking good. So what I'm gonna do is you can use your heat gun to do this. I am actually just going to use some double-sided tape to place this in the back right here. And I'm just going to go around the border of the opening with my double-sided tape. And that will keep the acrylic piece in place. So now we're just going to place this here. Oh, that's still too far. I need to check it out from here. Okay. And so now that is stuck onto the back side. And another thing you can do for your flap, if you want to add a little more reinforcement here with tape, so that it can kind of go a little smooth, you can kind of add a little piece of tape there. All right, so that's all done. The next thing we want to do is we want to place the backing on here. So I'm just going to get this piece of, this is sticker paper. We're going to get the sticker paper and I'm just going to cut it and we're going to place it onto the back side of the back. All right, now that that's done, I'm just going to go ahead and remove that backing. Of course, I'm just going to fold it down just like this. And then we're going to carefully place this on top of the back. All right, now you can go ahead, get your scissors, or not your scissors, your ruler, and help to make sure that there's no air pockets, but I'm just using my fingers, my hands, just to make sure, and that looks good. So we have it on both sides. Okay, and then we can begin gluing this. Well, before we do that, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to coat this side and this with some permanent vinyl. Okay, that will just make it look better on the inside. I would also put it on the back. You can put it on the back and the of the top part and the bottom. And if you want to, you can put it on the back of your shelves, like on the bottom of the shelf, so that when people look inside, they see the pink vinyl. Okay, so it's up to you, whichever you prefer, but I'm just going to go ahead and do that for the sides, and I probably will do it for the bottom of the other pieces too. Now this is 100% optional. You don't have to do this, but I am going to do this for mine. Same way we did the sticker, I'm going to remove the back of the vinyl. And this is just regular HTV. It's actually permanent. It's Oracle 651. But you don't have to do this if you don't want to. This is not necessary. All right. So I'm just going to go ahead, place some of that like that. And smooth it out some. And then we're going to just line this shelf with it. The same way, I'm just going to go ahead and use my hands to flatten it out. All right. And we can go ahead, at this part, we can go ahead and cut it. All right, we're done with this part. So we have a nice inside layer for it. Now we're gonna do the same thing for this side. All right guys, so we're almost ready to put this together. I did forget to put the holographic cover on top, and this is just holographic vinyl. It is transparent, so it's still gonna be able to, like the design is still gonna be able to be visible, but it's just going to give it a holographic look. So we're going to put that on the side panels, and I am just going to place these here, and we're going to peel the backing a little. And see, it's a pretty transparent look, but holographic, and it's transparent. I'm just going to kind of expose that a bit. I think that's going to be pretty. All right, Alright, so we're just going to go ahead and cut this, and I'm going to pull out my utility knife again and just slice through it. Now to make it a little bit easier for you, I would just go ahead and place it on top of the design prior to even cutting it from the foam board. That works so much better and easier. Alright, so here are all of the pieces that we need for our vending machine. We have the front piece, the back piece, we have the shelves and the upper and bottom part of the vending machine, and then we also have the two side panels. Alright, so remember this particular part has the same design on the back and on the inside, back and the front. You can put whatever you want on here. It doesn't have to look like this. You can put whatever you want. You don't even have to have anything on there at all if you choose that. All right, so the first thing that we're going to do is we are going to place the two side panels on the sides, okay? And the way that we're going to glue this is we're going to hot glue one side panel here, and then we're going to hot glue the other side panel here. So you always want to make sure that it's in the right direction. And as we see, it is in the right direction. The words are going from top to bottom, and that's what we want. Now you can decide, like, if you want to maybe put it, you know, however, whichever side you prefer to put it on, that's totally up to you, okay? So let's get ready. And I am just going to get my hot glue gun, and we're going to get ready to just apply the glue going down this strip. So we're just going to bring it down just like this. Of course, it looks like I'm getting too much on here. All right. And then we're just going to take this and we're going to place it right here. You want to line this up at the edge as much as possible. So once this is down, nice and secured, just push it in. Then you're going to do the same thing on the other side with this panel. This is what we have. So it's going to look just like this, okay? So this is where, like, wrapping the edge would look good. We can go over this and maybe put paint or glitter or something like that if you don't like how that edge looks. But we can worry about that later. All right, so let's get ready to apply the next piece, and I am just going to do the same thing. We're going to get our glue gun, and I'm just going to go down this edge just like this. I'm going off the edge, but I'm just going to go down the edge. All right, and then we're going to get our other panel, and we're going to press that panel right here. Right there. You want to make sure you get it at the edge, make sure it's nice and flushed. Here and here, and at the edge of that back piece, and then we're going to just press it down. Make sure that glue is gelling with the foam. Just holding it, pushing it down. All right, so this is looking pretty good. Now we have our two parts here. So the next thing that we want to do is we're actually going to take our top part, so the top pieces, the top and the bottom, and so this is going to be going just like this at the top, okay? And this is also going to end up being flushed. All right, so the way that we're going to do this, now we need to get ready to get more glue. And so I am just going to, you can put the glue around the edge of your top shelf or your top of your machine, or you can place the glue on the inside. I'm gonna go with placing the glue on the edges of the shelf, okay? So, and again, this is the top part. This isn't really going to be one of the shelves. This is just the top part. So I'm just going to put glue going like this. We're going to put it going around, going down, because this is the part that's going to make contact with the vending machine. All right, so we're just going to keep going down. And then I'm going to put it down this way. All right, so now that that's done, I'm going to make sure this is at the top. I'm going to turn it around so I can see it. And then we're going to place this just like this, going straight down, just like this. All right, and of course I'm going to make sure that this is here at the top. Now if you want, you can size your top shelf to actually fit all the way on top, but I wanted it to fit kind of like this. So I'm just going to push it down even more, and then we're just going to kind of bring it together just like that. So the next time, like if you do it, you can also bring, see where we have like the white here, you could bring that vinyl up a little bit, right, to wrap it around. Okay, we're gonna let that gel a bit and mesh together. All right, so we're gonna do the same exact thing for the bottom piece. Okay, and here I'm just going to go ahead. Now what you can do to help reinforce that top part a little more, if you want, you can take your hot glue gun, and then I would just kind of go here in the corners, maybe put a little more glue there just to kind of help give it a little more security. Bring this up. And then you can just kind of get there in those corners. Just to give it a little more support. And then, of course, I'm going to just push it in like that. All right, so we have our top pieces, and we have this, and this is what we have so far. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take the bottom shelf or the bottom of the machine, and we're going to fit that in here just like this. Now it's going to be turned this way because of course we want to make sure that this part is touching there. And as y'all see, that fits really, really good. Now again, you don't have to do it like this. You can just make it 8 inches wide so that it could cover that whole part, and this will sit on top of it. I kind of wanted to do it like this time, where all the shelves are pretty much the same width, and then we'll see how that's going to look. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we are going to go ahead and we're going to apply our glue to the edges. And you're applying it to the edges that's going to touch the machine. So you're not applying it to all 4 edges. You're going to only apply it to 3. All right. And now we're going to just fit this just like this. So I'm going to turn it this way, and it's going to slide right down for us. Or you can place it down, however you prefer. All right, and I'm just going to bring it out here, getting glue everywhere, but it's okay. All right, and we're going to kind of get it to touch right there. All right, so now that that is there, bring that out just a little bit. All right, So this is what we have so far. And I'm going to just bring that up there like that. That's looking very good. And so of course the same thing, or the same way we did the top part, I just want to go ahead and give it a little more reinforcement here. I'm just going to take some of this hot glue gun, or hot glue, and just kind of help to reinforce those corners. All right, so for this part, we're going to get ready to place the shelves on the inside. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to take these shelves and we're going to place hot glue along the edges. All right, and then we are just simply going to place this right underneath her chin. So you may want to mark where you're going to place them so that you can make sure that they're straight. You see, I got to do a little bit of moving around, but you can definitely mark exactly where you want these to fall, okay? And so right here, that's looking better, but as you see, like I kind of got some of that glue here, so I want to make sure I clean that up. And with it going on the vinyl, it comes off just easy. And like I did with the other, I am going to, with the other shelves with the top and the bottom, I am also going to place some glue here in these corners just to help provide a little more reinforcement. For our shelves. Now, if you can get down to the bottom, I would suggest also getting down to the bottom as well. And now we're going to place this where the Mean Girls is, okay? I'm just eyeballing it. And I'm going to slide it down. And then once I slide it down, I'm going to turn it, and we were able to get it in good. Okay. We did. We got it in very, very good. So I'm just going to push it in, hold it. And doing it this way though with the vinyl on it is scrunching up the vinyl. So you may want to do it with it, or you may not want to do it with that vinyl on the inside like that. Where you just, maybe you just want to put it on the outer part. You don't really need it on the sides, especially these shelves. You don't. All right, so I'm just going to go ahead. I'm kind of squeezing it, making sure that it's getting nice and tight onto here. Of course, I want to move that. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to do the same thing that we did before. We're going to then put some of the hot glue in the corners. All right, y'all, so the next thing we need to do is place the top door on top. And so to do that, we are going to be using our hinges, okay? And these hinges are great for this. There's adhesive on these hinges. So here we have, this is what the hinges look like. And the hinge will go onto, one part of the hinge will go onto the panel, and the other part will go onto the top. Okay, and so we're just going to have it just like this, and we're going to place these on just like this. Okay, and when it gets ready to open, it will open up. All right, so let's just make sure that this is nice and even. And we're only going to place 2 on there. All right, so I have this one. I'm going to go ahead, remove the protective film that's on top. And be careful that you don't yank off the adhesive too. All right, I'm going to remove the adhesive on both. So you got to be ready to commit when you place it on, okay? All right, so that's done. Uh-oh. And now I'm gonna place, remember I said I was gonna place it just like this. So this is gonna go just like that. All right. And then we're gonna put the other one right here too. Now, the two sizes I told you, like those are the sizes that I would recommend for this particular project. So, but the larger ones, you may need larger larger hinges, okay? So now we have the hinges on, we have our push door, looks ready. And then now we're gonna bring that up. And this is what it looks like on the inside, just like that. All right, so to close it, like to keep it closed, I've been using just the Zots just to keep it closed, because if not, it's still a little open. But if you look, like our door opens nice and wide, and then you can go ahead and fill this up with your snacks or whoever you're gonna give it to, their favorite snacks, and everything looks great. And then you have your little push door. All right, y'all. So y'all saw we're all done with this vending machine, and I absolutely love how it came out. It looks amazing, and I wanted just to show you what I use. So I use these Zots just to keep it closed. So it opens up easily, but the Zots kind of go in a corner, and you can close your door so that it doesn't continue to swing open. But I absolutely love how this came out. It looks super good. Our little push button works, or push drawer works. So you can put snacks or whatever it is that you want to do this. I'm gonna be using this as a party favor for a party. Mean Girls, of course, is a theme. And so we're just gonna put snacks. We're gonna fill this up with snacks, maybe a few drinks, and maybe some other candy or something at the bottom. Now this is the 8x10, so it's not one of the huge ones where you can fit large oversized snacks. So for this one, you really have to get like everything that's pretty much snack size. But I love how this came out. It's super, super cute. And hopefully you were able to follow along with this video if you want to make one of these also. If you ain't, and you see how that back looks? The back looks really good too. So you have it in the front, you have it in the back. Look at our top and look at the bottom. Now, if you want to go ahead and kind of maybe do something with the parts that are white, you can, but I actually like how this looks. This looks really good. It looks really clean, and I'm excited. I love the holographic look, y'all. That looks so cool. And you can add that clear holographic vinyl on top of pretty much anything you print out. So if you're interested in any of the products that I used, a link will be listed below for pretty much everything that I used today in this tutorial. But that's it for today. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. Also, make sure to head over to all of our socials, Instagram, TikTok, and definitely Facebook. You want to join our Facebook group. It is amazing. And I would love to have you there as well. But that's it for today, y'all. Thank you all so very much for watching. Until next time.